But Hannah, what does food have to do with crafting? So I don't say it in every video, but the tagline of this channel is Craft a Life Worth Living. The point of that is that I'm doing the things that make life worth living for me so that I don't decide to, send in my final notice early. Finding reasons to stick around is pretty important. And sometimes those reasons can be trivial. Who's gonna feed the cats if I'm gone? I really like the way this fabric feels. This tastes amazing. And that's what I want to talk about today, is the things that I ate in New York that qualify as reasons to stick around. I didn't really do any sightseeing things while we were in New York. It was a business trip mostly, and Nonsense decided that on the day that I had set aside for us to do touristy things, that rest was probably a better idea, and so we mostly just stayed in the hotel and rested that day. But the one touristy thing that I did was I ate at places. Normally I am on a pretty low carb diet because my A1C is out of control. I have insulin resistance because of my PCOS. And my doctor was like, you are 0.1 away from where we diagnose type 2 diabetes. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to not eat pasta or bread or potatoes or any of the stuff that, is delicious. I mostly just eat vegetables, and I've lost 50 pounds so far, and at some point there will be a video about how to tailor clothes down if you lose weight, because I've got to do some of that. But while we were in New York, I decided I was going to take a break from that. I was walking about 7 miles a day, and that gets the glycogen out of the system pretty fast. So hopefully when I get my blood work done in a couple of weeks, it won't be super out there, but we'll see. The very first place that we ate was Roma Pizza and Restaurants, and I didn't have pizza. I did not eat any pizza while we were in New York, and I know, go down in the comments, yell at me, tell me what I missed. It just, whenever we were passing the $1.50 pizza place, I wasn't hungry, and then when I was hungry, we were like, oh, that looks good, and we went other places. So I promise, if I ever get back to New York, I will try the pizza, but I'm not really a flat pizza girl. I'm kind of a Chicago style deep dish girly, so I'm trying to keep an open mind. At least the New York crust isn't crispy. But Nonsense had pizza there. I, however, went for a calzone, and the calzone that I got was heavenly. It was a cheese calzone with mozzarella and ricotta, and I added mushrooms, and it was divine. It's so good that we actually ended up going back there on our rest day to pick up more calzones, because Nonsense saw the light and ate calzones with me because they were so good. I'm not a fan of like sauce with my calzones, really. They had a very, very thin sauce, but the calzone was so good it didn't need sauce, in my opinion. The next place that is to live for is Black Iron Burger, and their signature Black Iron Burger comes with like horseradish mayo and something else that was horseradish, and I was like, I don't know, that might be a little too much horseradish, but no, it was perfect. It was the absolute perfect amount of horseradish. It was amazing. I also ate sweet potato fries because we love a potato, but sweet potatoes are slightly healthier for you than regular potatoes. I was trying to be a good girl. I stopped by Angelina Bakery because it was just like a hop, a skip, and a jump away from the hotel where we stayed at, and I got a croissant and I got a donut. They have a sweet glaze on them, which is delightful, but it was not what I was expecting for a croissant. It's a sweet croissant. So this is a chain, and it's not special at all, but we were in Macy's and I was starting to get a little hungry, and I was like, hey, I'm not on the no carb. Can we get some pretzels from Auntie Anne's? And oh my goodness, a big cup of pretzel bites with the perfect amount of butter and salt was just what I needed in that moment. It was a really good treat. Auntie Anne's may not be the best pretzel in the world, but in that moment, having not had bread for a really long time, that was a reason to live. For breakfast one day, we went to Liberty Bagels. The bagels are huge. They give you a huge smear of cream cheese. The only problem is you should order online because the line was basically out the door and it was raining that day. The owner guy is super sweet. They have a huge amount of options. I didn't realize until after we ordered that they have like a keto bagel that I could have ordered, but maybe next time. Possibly the best thing that I ate while I was in New York. Nonsense wanted a pastrami on rye, and I didn't think that we were going to go all the way down south to Katz's, and Katz's is really busy anyway. Nobody goes there. It's too popular. It's very touristy. So we decided instead to take an extended little walk over to the east, and we stopped at Sarge's Deli, which was a lovely little restaurant with some booths. We got to sit while we ate, and he got his pastrami and I had a Reuben. And normally I would take offense at being served a Reuben the way that I was served a Reuben, because it wasn't a sandwich. This was an open-faced sandwich, and I don't believe in open-faced sandwiches. Sandwich is the act of sandwiching. So I get irrationally angry when I'm presented with an open-faced sandwich, but this one might make me change my mind about open-faced sandwiches. This Reuben was amazing. It was huge. I did not finish it. I gave it to Nonsense to finish because I wanted some room for some dessert, because how can you be in New York and not have New York style cheesecake? I guess the same way that you can be in New York and not have New York style pizza. But I'm a cheesecake girly. Cheesecake is second only to carrot cake, but carrot cake is easy to get wrong. When I tell you that this was the best cheesecake I've ever had in my life, not only that, but it was the biggest slice that I've ever been served in a restaurant. Absolutely 100% worth it. If I'm ever back in Manhattan, I'm going to go eat at Sarge's Deli again. I guess I did do another touristy thing. We went to MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, because I have a friend who lives there in Queens and has a museum membership. So we went and we spent the day at the museum. And then afterward, we went out to Queens, where she lives, and we had dinner at Chakra, which is a Naruto-themed sushi restaurant. It is adorable, and the food is amazing. I am a picky sushi girl. I only eat 3 kinds of sushi. It's got to have eel, avocado, and cucumber. It's got to be tempura sweet potato or tempura shrimp. Those are the only kinds of sushi that I will eat. Yes, I understand that none of those are raw, and the raw fish is kind of the point, but I'm not a fish person. I'm not a fan of the way most fish tastes. I ended up getting they call it agi tofu, which is agedashi tofu. They fry the tofu, and then you can dip it in the tempura dipping sauce. It's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to get at a Japanese restaurant. And then I had sweet potato rolls and eel roll and a kabuto roll, which is very similar to what is called a dragon roll at my favorite sushi restaurant, which is basically eel and cucumber and avocado all rolled up together, and lots of kabayaki sauce on top. The next day I wanted to buy some yarn, and so we needed something that was near-ish the yarn place that I wanted to go. So we went down to East Broadway Mall. I didn't get any footage, but I heard about this place from another YouTuber. I'm putting a little clip here. I will link to that video on his channel so you can go and watch his other stuff. If you're planning a trip to New York, this guy, he was my go-to for figuring out what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. But we went down into that creepy mall that looks completely abandoned, and I don't do very well with creepy liminal abandoned spaces, but we did find the dumpling place. I liked the steamed dumplings most. Nonsense liked the fried dumplings. There's something for everyone. They're all handmade, and it's authentic and delicious and amazing. After that, we walked over to the Pickle Guys, which again, I don't have any footage of, but they specialize in pickling things. And I bought some pickles, which they will wrap up for you, that you can put in your checked luggage. You can't take it into carry-on because it's too much liquid, but they'll wrap it up so it does not leak in your checked luggage. If you get a chance, you should swing by. They have full sour, half sour. They have whole lots of pickled things. Big old menu. I will put their website link in the description if you want to go and peruse their pickled wares. I had dinner with a longtime kimono friend of mine over at Obao, which is a Thai place. I had the pad see ew. It wasn't spicy. It was amazing. Everybody else got some spicy stuff, so I didn't get to try a lot. But that's okay, because I'm good with my Old Faithfuls. On our last day, our flight was in the afternoon, so I made a lunch reservation at Black Tap right when they opened. And the burgers were good, but the cake shake, I did not expect a giant slice of cake on top of my shake, even though it said it came with cake. I expected like crumbles. No, it was a whole slice of like birthday cake on top of the shake. If you got a sweet tooth and you're in Manhattan, definitely recommend Black Tap for their cake shakes. The birthday cake one is not the only shake that they have. They have a good assortment of menu items of different sweet things that you can have. We also got the Brussels sprouts with a sesame tahini, and I didn't think I was going to like the sesame tahini sauce, but I did. It was delicious. I'd love to know what restaurants make life worth living for you, or any place that you might dream of going. I know there's like a lot of celebrity food places in Las Vegas. That's just some day that keeps me going. But who knows? I might be coming to your hometown for some reason and I might need a recommendation of a restaurant. So let me know. What is the food that keeps you going? Thank you for being here with this low effort video. I'm in con crunch time right now, preparing for my local anime convention that I am staffing and trying to get all of the things done before the convention descends upon me. I appreciate every second of your attention that you give me, and I would really like it if you would do me a favor and drink some water and make sure that you are hydrated, eat something that makes life worth it for you, do your best to craft a life worth living. Please take care of my friend. I promise that I am doing my level best to take care of yours. I'll see you next week.